Greetings, our Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. This is L.D. Smith, the Watchman on the wall. Your Watchman, Israel. Israel. This is our midweek teaching. Grab that King James. But first and foremost, we want to give a shout out to the whole family. All right, happy midweek teaching, Israel. Now that being said, we're going to go right into our teaching. We got a fine teaching tonight, my brothers and sisters. As a matter of fact, we have been getting, some comments, and about humble, and we need to address some things. But before we go into our teaching, Israel, we want to thank all you guys for being so patient for these 2 weeks that we've been gone, and we're so glad to be back before our sisters and brothers to share the words of the Most High God. That's right. I mean, my brothers and sisters, we find it a pleasure, to come before you and bring my brothers and sisters the word of the Most High God. All right. Now that being said, we're gonna go ahead into our teaching, and we're gonna be looking at some things here. And as I always say, think about the reading, think about what you're saying. All right, and I want you to just listen to yourself and listen to the word, and we know that the Most High will give you an understanding, because He says what? The secret things belong to the Lord, right? And those things which are revealed belong to His children, and we are the children. All right, now let's go. We are the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, now let's go forward into our teaching. All right. Now we become from Proverbs, the 29th chapter, and as I stated, we want to be talking about humble, because see, many people really don't know what humble means. They don't have an idea what the word humble means. And see, most of them, including myself, came out of Christianity. See, Christianity, religion will mess you up. It'll have you, especially when you talk about Western civilization, it will have you talking all kind of crazy ass shit, and you thinking that you're on point, and you're way out in left field. But tonight we're going to show you guys here in the word of the Most High what the word humble means. And once you start to read these scriptures and think about it, you'll say, wow, I never saw it like that. Now watch this right now. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 29. Let's look at verses. Let's read verse 23. And look what it says. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold, the humble in spirit. Now see, most want to look at that as, well, he's humble in spirit. No, he's a humble man. No. Look. The Most High never at any time wanted to tell a man talking about be humble to another man. No, He's talking about the Most High. He's talking about humble to His word, honoring His word, obeying His word, listening to His word, doing His word. That's when you're humble. And as I stated, we're going to prove it here in the word of the Most High. See, when you come against the word of the Most High, then you're not being humble. When you don't give the Most High His glory, you're not being humble. When you give the Most High's glory to another, then you're not being humble. And many times you be doing it and don't even know it. You give all the Most High's glory and honor to yourself, and that's a dangerous thing to do, because He will do something to you. Now let's go here in the word now, and I'm going to show you now. Let's go to Genesis chapter 22. Now watch it, my brothers and sisters. Genesis chapter 22. Now let's get there. Genesis chapter 22. We'll get there. My brothers and sisters, we've been thinking about you guys the whole while we've been gone, and something came to mind, after I did the last teaching. Even though we was gone, we wasn't gone, because we have to always, look at the web here on our page and see what's going on. It's sort of like our parents used to do, and all some of the elders that I knew when I was growing up. And if any of you guys, around about was born in like around about 51, even in the 40s, But most of them stopped doing it, when they got in the late 60s. But doing it around about the late 40s and stuff like that, I'm talking about the era that I know about, and that I've heard about. But the elders would say, when they're leaving, they'll say, we're going off, huh? And if anyone asks, tell them that we're going off and we'll be back, But down in the country, they say the word called directly or something like that. But when I was a kid, I just put two and two together, and I said that they have to be talking about they'll be back in a few minutes, or either after a while, But anyway, they were gone, but they wasn't gone. To make a long story short, we was gone, but we wasn't gone. We were still looking. We were still looking. We may have not said much, but we was watching, because we have to look. Because my brothers and sisters, you guys know we got some fools that come on our page and say some of the crazy stuff, and then when they figure that you're gone, well, we'll just have free reign. No, you won't. No, we was gone, but we wasn't gone. Okay. Now that being said, let us look at Genesis 20:22 here, chapter 22, and we're gonna read verses 1 through 3. It said, "And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, thy only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and saddled his ass, and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and cleaved the wood from the burnt offering. Carved the wood from the burnt offering. Okay, he says, and rose up and went unto the place of which God had told him. Then on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place far off. Okay, y'all know the story. Abraham offered up Isaac on the altar, and the angel of the Most High had stopped him. Okay, and there was a ram in the thicket. But if you read on down here, the lad told his father, Where is the lamb for the sacrifice? Now, my brothers and sisters, that's where they get that bullshit from over the New Testament about Jesus being the lamb of the sacrifice. But now think about this right here. For the young man to know that they did sacrifices, with lambs, he would have to have seen them do it before. See, this wasn't something new to him. They were doing sacrifices, I can't say exactly when, but I know through the pages here that the young man had to see him doing sacrifices for him to ask him, Father, where is the lamb for the Lord's sacrifice? If y'all see what I'm saying. So we see here, that this young boy here, he was willing to go along with the plan that the Most High had told his father. But my brothers and sisters, the point that we're making here is when you follow through on the word of God, then you have been humble. Now I'm going to show you, in God's holy word, exactly what I just said is true. And see, like I say, I know men are going to try to, buck and try to come against it, but you can't come against the word, especially when I show it to you. But anyway, let's go here and look further. Let's go to Exodus. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20. Now watch it right here now. Exodus chapter 20. Very familiar passage. Now a lot of you guys know it. Some of y'all can almost quote it by heart. But look what it says in Exodus chapter 20. We're going to read verses 1 through 5. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other God before me. See that? Don't put nobody before me. Don't put nothing before me. Right? Okay, that's number one. If you stick to that right there, everything else will be fine. And look what he says. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. See that? Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them that serve them, for I am the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children of the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. See that? In other words, when you put somebody before him, then he said that you hate him. That's what he's saying. But look at what he said. Look at the word in here. He's saying, thou shalt not, first of all, he said, thou shalt what? Not have any other God before me. Not any, thou shalt not thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images. See, when you don't honor God, is when you put something or someone or whatever before him. When you put your own opinion before the word of the Most High, you are dishonoring the Most High. You are not being humble. Like they come on the page here, I don't want to believe that. Well, look, if you don't want to believe it, then why you keep coming? And not only that, you are coming against the Most High God. You are not humble. You are not humble. See, because if you was humble, then you would take his word. Just like you say, take it and obey it. But you won't. You want to wrestle with it. You want to fight against it. You want to look at it and scrutinize it and say, well, no, that ain't what it. Even if he says that you are black, I mean, you will argue with that and say, well, that's a gray area there. Maybe he's talking about the ones that are looking like a penny, a copper. But he said that they are black. Why won't you accept that? But now you don't want to accept that. You want to argue with him. I mean, and see, that's not being humble. And I'm going to show you, and like I say, I prove everything I say. And I'm going to show you in the Most High's word exactly what I'm saying is true. Now, let's look at it in Exodus 24, verse 3. It said, and Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord hath said we will do. See that? Now watch about him. Moses wrote all the words of the Lord and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent the young man of the children of Israel which offer burnt offerings and sacrifice peace offering of an ox unto the Lord. Okay, let's go down to verse 7. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in a basin, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of all the people, and they said, all that the Lord has said we will do, and be obedient. See that? When you honor the Most High and when you're humble, you will accept his word. See, but like I say, most people, they want to holler about, well, I want to be humble to pastor. No, he never told you to be humble to your pastor. He said he wants you to be humble to him. And that's why, I mean, you know, they come on our page and talk about, well, y'all need to humble yourself. Listen. I am not changing anything. The rib is not changing anything. If you don't like what you're hearing, damn it, just leave. But see, the Most High called me. Even the ones that come and talking that bullshit about you need to humble yourself. Listen, I'm giving you the word of God. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm not giving you what I think, or what someone else think, or what someone else may have thought, or what. I'm giving you the word of the Most High. Now, if you reject that, you're not rejecting me. You're rejecting him. And see, that's not being humble. He didn't say be humble to me. He said be humble to him. Accept his word. Now let's go a little further here and I'm going to show you. Now let's go back to Exodus chapter 4. Now watch this right here. Now y'all heard him say, everything that he said we would do, right? Now watch it right now. Exodus chapter 4. Let's read verse 27 down to 31. Look what it says. And the Lord said unto Aaron, go into the wilderness and meet Moses. And he went and met him in the mount of God and kissed him. And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord who had sent him, and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel. And Aaron spake all the words which the Lord had spoke unto Moses, and did the signs in the sight of the people. And the people believed. See that? And when they heard that the Lord had visited the children of Israel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshiped him. See that? Now we see here, they're being obedient, right? They're doing as what the Most High have told them. Now let's go a little further here. Watch it right here. Let's go to the book of Joshua. Joshua, the 24th chapter. Now watch it, my brothers and sisters. Joshua 24. Let's read verses 12 down to 15. Look what it says here now. It says, and I sent the hornets, see them, before you, which drove them out from before you, even the 2 kings of the Amorites, but not with thy sword, nor with thy bow. And I have given you a land for which ye did not labor, and cities which ye build not, and ye dwell in them, of the vineyards and of the olive yards, which ye planted not, do you eat. Now, y'all see what's transpiring here, right? Now, he have done all this for them. Now, watch about him. We're going to continue reading. He said, now, therefore, fear the Lord, serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your father served on the other side of the flood. See that? First of all, have another God before me. He's saying, look, I've done all this for you. All this for you, but I need you to put away those gods that your father served over on the other side. I told you. Now, let's go a little further here. See, because when you don't honor him for the things that he does, then you're not being humble. But see, you're being prideful. You're being prideful. You're not recognizing nor reverencing him when all these miracles and all these acts that he does for you and to you, you just ignore it. Well, okay, well, you did it. You know what I mean? So what? That's when you're not humble. And I'm going to show you, like I said, in his holy word. Now, let's go here. Go here a little further here. Now, let's look at verse 15. And look what he says here in verse 15. He said, and if it seems evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your father served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whom land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. That's just like we over here in Egypt. Y'all want to serve Lucifer. Y'all want to serve Lucifer, a.k.a. Jesus. In their land. In their land. See, when Israel was in their own land, they didn't play that bullshit. They didn't. They was right on point with the Most High. Right on point. Right on point. Right on point. But it's when they went in somebody else's land, that's when all the shit started. When they started serving their gods. Huh? It's right in the pages. And he's telling them, when you went over in somebody else's land, you start serving their gods. But as long as they was in their own land, you know why? Because they didn't have no company. They didn't have no company, no strangers in there, bringing no strange gods in. It was only Israel and their families. That was it. No one else. But only when you venture out and you go in somebody else's land, like the hellhole that we're in now, that's why we was introduced to Lucifer, aka Jesus, because we were in their land. And as I stated in other videos, they killed off the knowledge. They killed the elders and whipped us into submission of Jesus. And then that bullshit started perpetuating. It started in those cities. You know, when the cities started to get populated, you know, with more and more people and whatnot, then they started implementing Jesus in them, and then they gave them that old 50C13, whatever that bullshit number is. And see, that's the only way that you be recognized in this country, if you get that 50C13 and they own your ass. They can tell you what to do. But see, we here, we don't have no numbers. We bring it to you just like the Father gave it to us. See, so there's not a damn thing they can say to us. But those that got the 501c3, whatever it is, they go and shut their ass down just like it did here a few weeks back. But they had that coming anyway. They had that coming. But anyway, let's go here a little further here. We see here that he's talking about serving other gods, right? Now watch this right here. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 2. Now as I said, my brother and sister, I want you to think about the wording. Let's look at verse 5. He said, O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the Lord. Therefore thou hast forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because they be what? Republished from the east, and are smooth sails like the Philistine. And they pleased themselves in the children of strangers. See that? See that? Long as they was by themselves, they was fine. But only when you get around others, then you go start venturing off and on these rabbit trails, you know what I mean? Doing all kind of shit you have no business. And that's why we are in the shape that we're in now, because we're over here. Now let's go a little further here. Yeah, let's go to 7 through 12. He said, their land also is full of silver and gold. Neither is there any end of their treasure. Their land is also full of horses. Neither is there any end of their chariots. Their land also is full of idols. They worship and work the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. Now you think about this over here. All of them over here in America, they worship Lucifer, aka Jesus. They got to have a cross. They got to have these little fish-like symbols. They got to have all these things that somebody have made with their hand, and all they're doing is making money off of you. That's all. Jesus is not any help to you at all. No one can say Jesus ever helped them at any time. If they do, they're telling the damn lie. Because Jesus can't help you. Whatever you have, the Most High did it, not Jesus. Now let's go a little further here. Let's go on down to verse 12 here. Let's look at verse 9. It says, and the mean man bows down, and the great man humbleth himself. Therefore, forgive him not. See that? Forgive him not. And look what he says here. Enter into the rock, and hide thee in the dust, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty. The lofty looketh of men shall be humble. See that? Shall be humble. All these that are got all their hope and all this gold and silver and the wealth and these idols that they have made with their hands. He said, I'm gonna bring your ass down. And look what he says here. He says, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. The Most High says, I'm the only one that's gonna be exalted. You humble before me, not before no man. But all these that have exalted themselves up, he said, I'm going to bring their ass down. I'm going to bring them down. Now let's go here a little further. He said, for the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. Everyone that be lifted up. Now, y'all Christians, y'all think about this right here. What did y'all God say? If I be lifted up, I'll bring all men unto me. Isn't that right? But the Most High says, if anybody be lifted up, he's going to bring their ass down. He don't give a damn who they are. So you can see right there that Jesus is not his son. I mean, there are so many passages that we read week after week showing you guys that Jesus and the Most High doesn't have any affiliation at all. None. They're adversaries. They are not sons and father and son. No, they're not. Now, let's go. See, because you guys need to read verse 12 again. It says, for the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud, and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up. He shall be brought low. Right in the pages, my brothers and sisters. I'm not making this up. It's right here in the pages. Now let's go a little further here. Let's look at the book of Deuteronomy. Let's go back and read the Deuteronomy here. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 12th chapter, I believe. All I ask you is just think about the reading. Think about the wording. Let's look at verse 28. Read that one. It says, observe and hear all these words which I command thee, and that it may go well with thee, and with thy children after thee forever, when thou doest that which is good and right in the sight of the Lord thy God. See that? See that? He's talking about his word. When you honor his word, when you do his word, you have been humble to him. He didn't say be humble to another man. He wants you to be humble to him. See, because if you don't do his word, then you exalt yourself above his word. That's the simplest way that I can put it. When you say, well, no, I'm not going to do it, then you exalt yourself above his word. Then you're being proud. See that? Then you got to be brought low because you depend on yourself. Well, I did this and I did that. No, you didn't. Those are some dangerous words. Anytime that you have acquired anything on this planet, don't you ever put yourself and say, I did this and I did that. No, don't you do that. You put the Most High first. Say, the Most High, he be the one, that doeth these things, not me. See, because that's the attitude that Lucifer, a.k.a. Jesus, give all the Christians. I this, I that. I can do all things through Christ. Now, you think about this right here. And that is the foolish-ass statement. That is one of the foolishest ass statements that they say in the New Testament that I have ever heard. Now, any Christian that want to think rationally, if you think about this, think about I can do all things through Christ. All double L, A-double-L means all. That means anything. You can do all things through Christ that gives you strength. How stupid is that? I mean, my brothers and sisters, when you think about a lot of the little fancy quotes that they got over the New Testament, when you really think about it, you see it's nothing more than a bunch of bullshit. That ain't nothing. Nothing but rubbish. Nothing but trash. But yet it's still more than three-fourths of the planet believing that bullshit. And think about it, my brothers and sisters, it doesn't work for any of them. I can see if it worked for them, but it has not worked for any of them. They all hitting the clock just like everybody else. They all get sick just like everybody else. All these things happen to them just like everybody else. But yet and still, you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. But yet and still, soon as someone gets shot or killed, y'all go to grabbing hands, holding hands like a bunch of fags, out there. He caught all that old bullshit talking about we speaking in tongues. All you doing is making a bunch of mumbo, bumbo shit. That's all, just making noise. You ain't doing shit. but acting like a damn fool. That's all. But anyway, you see them, they'll grab hands and talking about they're praying after the fact that something tragic has happened. Now, my question, what good is it for you to pray afterward? It's already transpired. If your prayers was worth anything at all, it would never transpire. It would never happen. Because y'all praying all the time. Y'all having prayer warriors, prayer meeting, all this old bullshit. But yet it's still, all these things are still happening every day. Can't you see that y'all prayers ain't worth the shit? Can't y'all see y'all wasting your time? I mean, honestly, something has to be wrong with y'all thinking. You go through the same motions every day, every week, day in and day out, but yet and still nothing never changes. And what's so stupid about it is that you are praying after the fact. It's like someone, that's like a bunch of kids out in the yard throwing rocks towards someone's house. And all of a sudden, ping-a-ling-ling-ling. Now y'all done knocked out a window. Then you want to come in, well, I'm sorry. Why would you tell me about you being sorry and you done bust my damn window out? That's after the fact. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Don't tell me you're sorry. Bring me some damn money to replace my window. That's the way you do that. So, if your prayers cannot change your situation, why even pray? But y'all do it repeatedly, over and over and over and over. And it doesn't make any sense to me at all. But anyway, y'all got all this power and y'all can do all these things through Christ that gives me strength. How stupid. Anyway, Israel, go to Deuteronomy chapter 6 here. Now, watch it, my brothers and sisters. Watch this. He said, now these are the commandments, the statutes and judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it, that thou mightest fear the Lord thy God, see that, and keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy sons and thy sons' sons, all the days of thy life, and that thou days may be prolonged. See that? See that? When you honor the Most High, when you accept his words, when you humble yourself to his words, he says all these things are going to happen to you. Your days might be prolonged. See that? Then it goes on to say, hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord thy God of thy fathers has promised thee in the land that floweth with milk and honey. He said, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. See that, my brothers and sisters? Now let's go ahead and read a little further here. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shall talk to them with thou sitting in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. See that? He's telling them it is so important for you to honor the Most High's word. When you honor the Most High's word, you are humble before him. But see, like when you exalt yourself above and say, nah, I ain't going to do that, then you have exalted yourself above his word. Then now he got to deal with you. Now let's go a little further here. We're in Deuteronomy chapter 6. Let's go back to Exodus 5. Look what it says. It says, and after Moses and Aaron went and told Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. Now he told them, he told Pharaoh the word of the Most High. He told him what the Most High word said. Told him, right? Now watch about him. And Pharaoh said, who is the Lord that I should obey his voice. See that? See that? This here applies to across the whole spectrum. When you say, well, nah, I don't believe that, then you say, well, who is God? I ain't got to obey him. Then you exalt yourself above his word, and then he got to deal with you. But when you are humble, you accept what he says and go ahead and do it. And look what he said. He says, who is the Lord that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go. And see, that's what it is here. A lot of them come. He don't know what he's talking about. He don't have a beard. He got his head shaved. They don't even know the scriptures. They don't even know the scriptures. But it's what someone has taught them. Instead of them getting into the word, asking them the Most High to show it to them, either sitting down and listening to someone who's giving them sound teaching about the Most High. But no, they just take what somebody else has told somebody, and they told somebody, and then they run with it.
Hello?
And then when you see a person like me, where's your beard? Why you got your head shaved? I mean, all kind of asinine questions, all kind of stupid ass bullshit that don't make no sense. But then when you show it to them in the word, that ain't what it's saying. Well, what is it saying then? But anyway, let's look at it here. We're in Exodus chapter 5. And now let's go a little further here. The 3rd verse says, and they said, the God of the Hebrews has sent me, has met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Lord our God. Let he fall upon us with a pestilence or with a sword. And the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their work? Get ye unto your burdens. And Pharaoh said, behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burden. See that? In other words, why you gonna take them off the job? They out here working. I got them working. Leave them alone. I don't know this God you're talking about. See, just because you don't know something doesn't mean that it will not work against you. I mean, I try to explain it all the time. I'm not a college grad, but I try to explain it in the simplest form that I can, where one will understand what I'm saying. But we still have them come all the time, saying they'll say all kind of stupid ass shit and won't even look at the video. Then they decide to go back and watch it. Then the death to come back and we can't. Oh, okay, now I see. But all before you was calling us stupid, calling us crazy, but now you see, now you took some time out and you did a little research and you saw what we was teaching was the truth. Now you got to come back and recant. Instead of watch the video all the way through. Then after that you can make your own conclusion. Say what you want to say, but it's still not going to change anything here. Just like I tell them, I am not going to change anything that I say. I'm not going to change my way of teaching. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not changing anything. And if you think that I'm not being humble, then you at the wrong place. You need to go find someone who you picture who you deem in your mind that is humble. Because I'm not going to change. Neither is the real. Now, let's go a little further here. We're in Exodus 5. We did, well, let's go on down and look at verse 7 here. In Exodus 5, it says, ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick as theretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. See that? So in other words, he was giving them straw to make bricks, but now he said, I'm not gonna give you any straw. You go out there and get your own straw, but you're still gonna make your bricks, and I want the same amount made. But see, when you do not, the point that I'm stressing here is that when you do not accept the Most High's word, then you are not being humble to Him. You're not. Now let's go a little further here. Let's look at Exodus 16. Let's start with verse 2 here. It says here, and the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh post, and when we did eat bread to be full. For ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill the whole assembly with hunger. Now, y'all see what's happening, don't you? Y'all see what's happening. Now watch this right here. Then said the Lord unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or not. See that? God is saying, okay, well, since y'all crying about y'all ain't got nothing to eat and ain't got nothing to drink and all the stuff here, I'm gonna give you just what you want. And I'm gonna prove to y'all that y'all ain't gonna do what I say do. Y'all gonna start wandering off the past. Y'all gonna start wanting to do what you want to do. Y'all gonna start wandering off. Watch. I'm gonna give you everything that you want, and I'm gonna prove to you that you're not gonna be obedient to me. You're not gonna honor me. You're not gonna humble yourself. See, they're not being humble now. They're crying against what the Most High is doing. The Most High is the one that's bringing them out, not Moses. The Most High is. Now let's go a little further here. Let's go to Isaiah 23. Let's look at verses 9. It says, the Lord of hosts has proposed it and stained the pride of all glory, and to bring into contempt all the honorables of the earth. See that? The Most High says He's gonna bring this thing. He's gonna bring it on all the inhabitants of the earth, all them that is full of pride. He says, stain the pride of all the glory, and to bring into contempt all the honorables of the earth. Y'all got to pay. Everyone that's full of pride, that won't humble himself before the Most High. The Most High says, I got something for you. That's right. That's why I tell them all the time. Listen, even though if you don't understand, keep your mouth closed. Just try to keep your mouth closed, and then just try to watch videos and try to learn something, and then see where you get some understanding. See where something open up where you can see exactly what we're talking about before you start running your mouth. Once you run your mouth on the Most High, then you have put yourself in a prideful situation. You have exalted yourself like, well, I ain't got to listen to that. Just because you don't know whether it's true or not, don't come against it. Just keep your mouth closed until you get a clear understanding. Now let's go a little further here. We're in Isaiah 23. Let's go to Isaiah 26. Look at verse 5. And look what he says here. He says, for he bringeth down them that dwelleth on high, the lofty cities, and layeth it low. He layeth it low even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the ground. See that those that are lofty, all up high, the cities, wherever they may be, he said, I bring them down. Why? Because of pride. Pride and not being humble. You must be humble to the Most High's word. Now let's go a little further. Let's look at Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 8. Let's look at verse 13. He says here, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogance, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. See that? See that? That's why I tell them, even if you don't understand it, just keep your mouth closed. Don't run your mouth, because you get yourself in trouble. Even though if you don't understand it right now, you may understand it later on. Just don't talk, because let me say this in passing. There have been individuals that tried to assassinate. The Most High dealt with them. Some is not with us any longer. Some he put diseases on. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to call their names out, but I have no reason to lie to you. I'm telling you the truth. That's why, most people, they say, well, the Most High, he's terrible. Yes, you say he's terrible, but you really don't understand how terrible he is. And I said over and over, he will do something to you. If you go back and read all the accounts where when he brought Israel out of the wilderness and they start taking cities, he said, go and kill everything. I kill everything. And he says, I do not change. I tell you guys all the time, he said, I kill, I wound, I heal, I make alive, I take down to the dust, I raise one up. He says, I do all these things. But yet and still, it is short-lived, and most of them mine. They'll hear it, 5 minutes later, they done forgot about it. Or either they'll read it, 5 minutes later, it's gone. They right back to the same thing, bumping their lips, and don't know what the hell they're talking about. Won't sit down and listen. Won't sit down and learn. But I always want to give my opinion. Well, I know this, or I know that, or I know this. Listen, the Most High have not called you to teach anyone. Have not called you to teach anyone. Now, let's go a little further here. Let's look at Daniel, the 4th chapter. Now, very, very, very familiar passage right here. This passage here is really going to sink the ship. Now let's go here and look at Daniel, the 4th chapter. All right, Daniel, the 4th chapter. Now let's look at Daniel, the 4th chapter. Let's look at verse 24. All right, we're going to start with verse 24, and then we're going to read down to verse 31. 24, 31. Look what it says. This is the interpretation of the king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon my Lord the king. Now remember, there's a lot of them been asking us about Psalms 110. I think it's Psalms 110, where it talks about my Lord will tell my Lord to sit here at my... See, if you guys go back and watch any old English movies, you will see when they talk about Lord with a lowercase, he's talking about a king or someone that is under, the king or something like that. He's not talking about Jesus being Lord. He's not talking about Lord. He's talking about King David, either a king or someone that is in a role of authority, not Jesus. Now let's go here and let's look at Daniel, the 4th chapter. And let's go ahead and look at verse 25. It says, that they shall drive thee from man, and thy dwelling place shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass and ox, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven. 7 times shall pass above thee, till thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it unto whomsoever he will. And whereas thou command to leave the stump of the tree root, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee, after that thou have known that the heavens do rule. In other words, he says, once you learn that the Most High is the ruler, and what he says, that's the way it is, then after those 7 years, your kingdom will be restored back to you. Now look what he says. He said, wherefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable unto thee, and break off thy sins by righteousness, and thy iniquity by showing mercy to the poor, if it may be a lengthening of thy tranquility. See that? He's telling him, look, if you want to be living tranquility and you want things to be well with you, you got to listen to the Most High. You can't say all that bullshit that you said. Because he said, by my might have I built this great Babylon. That's what he said. And when he said that, the Most High heard him. Let me go down here and straighten his ass out. Let me go down here and straighten him. I'm going to show him that I'm the one that's running the show. But see, like I say, most people do not understand what the scriptures, this passage is talking about. They read it, but yet and still they don't understand. The Most High is the one that is ruling. You do not build Babylon. I gave you the technology. I gave you the manpower. I gave you all these things. I showed you how to do it. You didn't do it on your own. I did that. But look what he says here. We're going to read on down to 28. He says, and all this came upon King Nebuchadnezzar. And at the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. The king spake and said, is it not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power? See that? See, when you do stuff like that, we do it all the time. I went to college those 4 years. I attended those classes. I did this, and that's why I'm at the point in life that I'm at now. No, it's not. That's not the way it is. That's the way you've been taught. You see here that by the statement that he made, the Most High says, I got to punish your ass for that. Because you are not humble. You are not humble for the things that I did for you. Now look what he says here. And for the horn of my majesty, while the words was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee. Right there. And that's why a lot of time we see, things that we thought that we had acquired, that the Most High have given us, and then all of a sudden we get all prideful and then start bragging about, well, I did this and I did that, and all of a sudden it started to disappear. Has it ever happened to any of you all? I know it has. I know it has. The Most High does not change his MO. He doesn't. And most of you don't even realize what happened. And you turn around and start praying to Jesus. Oh, Lord Jesus. And then things get worse. Things get worse. You lose your home. You lose your automobile. Your husband walk off and leave you. Children getting killed. All these things happen in your life. Sickness all running through your family. But you done forgot about what you said. Now you know. Okay? Maybe you didn't know before, but now you know. You cannot put yourself before the Most High. He is the one that does all these things for you. Yet and still, like Jesus said, you can have whatsoever you say. Speak to the mountain and say, be thou removed and be thou cast in the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but believe those things which he have said shall come to pass. He can have whatsoever he say. How stupid! I mean, honestly, how stupid is that? And I'm just showing you here. Nebuchadnezzar said that, and look what the Most High did. He snatched his kingdom from him and ran him out of his damn mind for 7 years. So any of y'all out there, when y'all see a person that goes crazy and start doing shit, guess who's doing it? Guess who's behind it? The Most High is behind it. Huh? Now you know it. Since you didn't know it, now you know. Now, let's go here a little further here. Let's jump here, over here. Let's look at verse 37 here in chapter 4. Now look at this, my brothers and sisters. Look what it says in 37. It said, now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and exalt and honor, the King of heaven, all whose works are true, and his ways, judgments, and those that walk in pride, he is able to abase. See that? He will bring your ass down. That's a known fact. He will bring you down. Now let's go and look at Isaiah chapter 60 real quick here. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 60. And watching my brothers and sisters, very good passage here too. Very good passage. Shed some light on a lot of things. Isaiah chapter 60. Let's look at verse 14. It says here, the sons also of them that afflict thee shall come bending unto thee, and all that thou didst despise thee shall bow themselves down at the sole of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. All them that have afflicted you, all them that was above you, he said, I'm going to bring their ass down. They're going to come and bow down to you. See that? See, that's why when they say all kind of stupid ass shit, the real now we look at one another sometime and just shake our head, because they don't even know what they are saying stuff that has been handed down from one generation to another generation to one person, and it's wrong as the $3 bill. Now let's look at Jeremiah here. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 50. Now watching my brothers and sisters, Jeremiah chapter 50. Let's look at verses 31 and 32. It says, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord God of hosts. For the day is come, the time that I will visit thee. See that? Oh yeah, all these proud motherfuckers, all y'all pride, full of pride, who does not want to accept the word of the Most High as the true living God. Y'all want to hold on to Jesus I just don't believe him. I never said believe me. I said believe the Most High. I keep saying it over and over. It's not about we here. It's about the Most High. I didn't write this. These are his words. Look what he says here. In verse 32 he says, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his city, and it shall devour all round about him. See that? That's how the Most High feels about all those that are full of pride. Those that will not humble themselves to his word. He said he's going to deal with y'all. Just because you don't understand it. I don't understand gravity. At my age, I know that it'll pull you down, but I can't tell you how, the intricate parts, of the workings of it. I don't know that, but even though if I didn't know it pulls down, and I get on top of a building, jump off of it, it's still gonna pull me down. Whether I know how it works, or whether I know how to spell it, or whether I don't understand it, it's still gonna work against you. So my brothers and sisters, we're telling you in this teaching here that the Most High word is the final word, and when you humble, you accept his word. He does not want you to to be humble towards someone else, No, he is the one. His word is the word that we should humble ourselves to. Until next time, shalom.